couldn't hit the record button quick enough right before manipulation time right here. Let me clean things up for you guys. Let's see here. Let's move this way down here. Let me just get rid of this guy. And we'll pull this in. We'll take a look at what we got. All right. Beautiful. Cool. All right. So getting into one contract of ES here. Starting to form a hot pink candle again. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Pink is your strongest downside data candle. And we've already seen price get hung up here, hit this zone, reject, hit this zone, and now we should continue rejecting this way. We do have news coming up here. With just a click of a button, I can pull up the news for the day, and these are the things that could affect your charts. You got a bunch of 8:30 news, so we got like news in like 20 minutes. But they're orange, so usually the orange stuff doesn't super affect the charts. The red stuff for sure does. And then I guess the president is speaking at 9 o'clock, and it's really cool because it marks a line right on your chart here. That's the Maverick news. It's in the toolkit for NinjaTrader. I'm terrible at checking the news, and this just every morning I just click this button, look at what we got coming up here, and with a click of a button is gone. All right, so let me pull this down, guys. I got a tight stop, decently tight. Why are we in this trade? Well, first things first, we got hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Pink is your strongest downside data candle. Look at this. This is, if you see pink, it will most likely sink. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. I know this is really tiny. I have this shrunk up here, but these are huge moves on ES. So if you see, here's a great example of just normal business hours, trading hours. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Okay, so pretty cool stuff there. And we're coming down here. We got red background. The bears are in control. We got hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. The Maverick AI Pro colors your candles like a heat map, not just price and direction. You got an A+ setup on the ultimate trading assistant, the Maverick Radar. The Maverick Radar goes through a lot of our indicators and it grades each one, and then it formulates a complete and total grade. Do you have no setup? Do you have a B setup? Or do you have an A+ setup? And right now it's saying you got an A setup to the downside. Now, we do have to be careful. We do have news in about 18 minutes, 17 minutes, so we're going to have to be aware of that. And just with a click of a button, I can see that on my chart. Okay, so kind of gives you a warning of news coming up here. All 5 traders are voting bearish across 6 time frames. Think of T1 through T5 as traders, and they all have they're algorithms, but think of them as traders, and they all have a completely different style. And right now they're all voting bearish across 6 time frames. How powerful is that? I'm actually going to add one more contract here, and then I'm going to stop at 3. Okay. So what we're doing is we're stacking probability. We're stacking probability. We got a red background. The bears are in control. Hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. We have an A+ setup to the downside on the ultimate trading assistant, the Maverick Radar. And all 5 traders are voting bearish across 6 time frames. How powerful is that? By the way, the Maverick trender is pegged to the top. When this line is pegged to the top, get this nifty downtrend label. This is showing massive strength and momentum. Red to the downside, so here's a flat top. You can see it went all the way from here to here. So that's a huge profitable move. We call them flat tops. That's pegged to the top. It's not waning at all. And then finally, let's check out the zones. Let me turn back on my Maverick zones, which auto draws all our support and resistance zones. We no longer have to draw these suckers anymore. And it draws them by probability. See how this guy is really skinny and this guy's a little bit fatter, okay? Well, the reason is because the probability formula says, hey, this is by probability, this is where your zone is here. By probability, this is where your zone is here. This is the width here. This is the width here. On top of that, it gives you this probability score. So as price gets closer to this zone, it's going to give you a probability score of price holding or breaking. Anything less than 90% is game for breaking. Anything greater than 90% is like a brick wall. Okay, now you are in manipulation time right here, so we're probably going to get some retracement. Keep in mind I am in 3 contracts, so you know, $200 in drawdown is what, $75 in drawdown, $65, so it's nothing. So comparatively to the size. Okay, so look, manipulation time. Look how the scores change. It's so funny. Potential market manipulation time. Look how the whole chart, all the data gets thrown off for a brief little bit here because this is potential market maker manipulation time. And you can see it show up in the scores. So we just hold, we don't do anything. We hold our judgment. We try not to enter a trade. We try not to. I do it here and there. But we try not to enter a trade during manipulation time because we want to see the market show its hands. Okay, so we're going to wait for this time to turn white before we pass judgment. But what do we got? We got red background. The bears are in control. They've been in control all the way since 6:40 a.m. It's now 8:15. We got hot pink candles. Oops. We got hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Pink is your strongest downside data candle. All 5 traders are voting bearish across 6 time frames. Instead of having 6 charts on your monitor, trying to read them all, then trying to trade a whole different other chart, it's too hard. It's way too hard for me. I like the Maverick Multi-X up here. Nice, neat little box. And just telling me the vote of 5 traders, all with a completely different style. It just gives me that confidence to get in. And then the Maverick radar going through a bunch of our indicators to grade it. And either you don't have a grade, you got a B grade, or you got an A grade. And right now you can see us flipping back and forth between no grade and an A grade, okay? Because we just came out of manipulation time. The market's deciding, what is it gonna do on this candle? Okay, what is it gonna do? All right, so where's your higher score? Let's talk about this real quick. Where's your higher score? I mean, even if you don't know this indicator, your higher score, well, now it's changing a little bit, but your higher score has been, here, okay? And price a lot of times likes to move away from the stronger zone. But let's see what this score is as price shakes out. You're gonna get a little retracement here. That's okay, totally makes sense. Because you just had 1, 2, 3 candles in a row to the downside. So, you know, you normally don't get 9 candles in a row to the downside. So you got to expect, you know, you were gifted here, you were gifted here, you were gifted here. Got to get a little retracement before we can head back down. But this is what clear vision is. This is seeing the red background, color of the severity of the data, the color of the severity of the data, all 5 traders voting every single tick, okay? Having the ultimate trading assistant down here, which right now you're just hanging out. The only reason you don't have a B set up to the downside is these guys. These guys are voting a little bit bullish on the 1-minute chart. So for my scalpers out there, these traders are voting bullish on the 1-minute. So pretty cool stuff. So we're probably just going to bounce in and out. I got my stop loss in, so I'm whatever. But we're probably going to bounce around here and then continue to the downside. I'm going to leave my chart up. Let's watch this thing, and I'll come back to the charts. All right, so what do we got? We got the red background. We got hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. We got an A+ setup on the ultimate trading assistant, the Maverick radar. We got all 5 traders voting bearish across 6 time frames, and we got a weak zone score, folks. We got a weak zone score. So we're just pushing down. This is anything less than 90%, game for breaking. Ooh, and now we got a down confidence arrow. So not going to get greedy here. Just want a little bit more of a push. So listen, if you want clear vision on your charts, if you want some edge in the market, the charts this is so clear, right? This is what clear charts look like. And this is, to me, what edge looks like. So not financial advice, do your own research, never any guarantees in any market. And all our indicators work on NinjaTrader and TradingView that are in the Ultimate Edge bundle. And we actually give you a license for both, which is unheard of. But come check us out. We would love for you to. MaverickIndicators.com. That's MaverickIndicators.com.